On an ordinary Tuesday morning, solar observatories around the world noticed something strange about the sun. At first, it looked like a normal solar flare. The sun releases them frequently, huge bursts of energy that race across space and sometimes disturb Earth satellites. But this one behaved differently. Instead of exploding outward randomly, the flare pulsed in a precise rhythm. One flash, pause. Two flashes, pause. Three flashes. The pattern repeated again and again. At first, scientists assumed it was a sensor glitch. Solar activity is chaotic, and instruments sometimes misread it. But when observatories in Japan, the United States, India, and Europe all detected the same exact rhythm at the same time, it became impossible to ignore. Researchers realized something even more unsettling. The pulses weren't random bursts of energy. They were mathematically structured, like decoding. Teams began translating the pattern the same way they would decode a radio transmission. The timing between pulses followed prime numbers. The spacing between energy spikes formed repeating sequences. Nature does not normally produce perfect mathematical language, which raised a terrifying possibility. Something was using the sun to communicate. By afternoon, governments quietly classified the data. Satellite networks were instructed not to broadcast real-time solar footage. Scientists were warned to avoid public speculation. But secrets move slowly in a connected world. A graduate student studying solar activity uploaded a visualization of the pulses online. It spread across the internet within minutes. Millions of people watched the sun flicker on their screens. In perfect rhythm. People joked about aliens sending Morse code. Most assumed it was a misunderstanding. But deep inside a solar monitoring center in Colorado, a small research team finally translated the first complete sequence. It was only a few words. 5 words, repeated over and over. Not a greeting, not a threat. A warning. The decoded message read, "Shield the planet immediately." At first, the researchers assumed the translation was wrong, but when they ran the pattern through 3 separate decoding models, the result remained identical. Shield the planet immediately. And then, as the team stared at their screens trying to understand what it meant, the sun pulsed again. This time, the sequence changed, and the new pattern was far more urgent. Within the next 6 hours, the solar pulses intensified. Instead of repeating a simple phrase, the flare patterns began forming longer sequences. Scientists rushed to decode them, while governments debated whether the public should be told. The message expanded slowly, line by line. It described something approaching Earth. Not a comet, not an asteroid, something much stranger. According to the translated pulses, an enormous wave of unknown cosmic radiation was moving toward the solar system. It had already passed several outer planets and was accelerating. The sun itself was reacting to it, almost like a warning beacon. But the strangest part of the message wasn't the danger. It was the source. Because when researchers analyzed the mathematical structure of the signal more deeply, they discovered something impossible. The encoding system used inside the pulses was not alien. It was human. Specifically, it matched a data compression algorithm that would not be invented for another 12 years, which meant the message coming from the sun had been written by humanity. In the future, the room fell silent as scientists reached the same conclusion. Someone in the future had discovered the approaching radiation wave, and somehow they had learned to send a warning backward through solar activity. The pulses continued. Planetary magnetic field, insufficient. Atmospheric shielding required. Impact window, 19 days. 19 days. That was all the time humanity had before the radiation wave reached Earth. If the message was correct, the event would strip satellites from orbit, collapse electrical infrastructure, and possibly damage the planet's atmosphere itself. But the final part of the transmission was the most disturbing, because after describing the danger, the signal ended with a question. A question directed at the present. The sun pulsed again, and the decoded message read, "Did you receive this in time?" Once the warning was verified, secrecy collapsed. Governments could no longer hide the truth, because the sun itself was broadcasting the signal to every observatory on Earth. News networks finally broke the story. For the first time in history, humanity was receiving a message from its own future. and the message was clear. Something catastrophic was coming. Within hours, global cooperation began in ways never seen before. Rival nations shared satellite technology, military defense systems, and experimental energy research that had previously been locked behind classified programs. Scientists focused on one desperate idea: strengthen Earth's magnetic shield. The planet's magnetic field already protects life from solar radiation and cosmic particles, but the future warning claimed it wouldn't be strong enough to stop the incoming wave. If they could amplify the field temporarily, the atmosphere might survive the impact. Massive power grids were redirected. Particle accelerators were repurposed. Experimental orbital platforms were activated to create artificial magnetic barriers above the planet. For the next 2 weeks, humanity worked together with a single goal: build a shield around Earth. Meanwhile, the sun kept pulsing. New messages arrived daily, giving additional details about the approaching radiation wave. Each update appeared to come from a slightly different point in the future timeline, as if multiple versions of humanity were trying to send guidance backward. But on the 15th day, a final transmission arrived. And this one was different. The pulses slowed. The energy spikes grew weaker, almost like whoever was sending them was running out of time. The translation appeared on monitors around the world, and it said only one sentence: "You changed the outcome." On the 19th day, the radiation wave reached Earth. Satellites recorded a massive surge of cosmic energy moving through the solar system. For several minutes, the planet's artificial magnetic shield struggled under the pressure. Electrical systems flickered worldwide. Radio communication briefly vanished. Then, the wave passed. Cities stayed powered. Satellites remained in orbit. The atmosphere held against impossible odds. The planet survived. Scientists celebrated. Governments announced humanity had avoided catastrophe. The massive shield project slowly powered down. But something strange happened after the event. The sun never pulsed again. The coded messages stopped completely. No farewell, no confirmation, just silence. Researchers tried to understand why. Then one physicist proposed a chilling theory. If the messages came from a future where Earth had been destroyed by the radiation wave, and the present timeline had successfully prevented it, then the future that sent the warning might no longer exist. In saving themselves, humanity may have erased the very civilization that tried to help them. The sun had gone quiet because the people sending the signal were gone. Their timeline replaced by this new one. A future that survived. And now the responsibility belonged to the present generation to make sure the warning had not been wasted. Because somewhere, in a future that will never happen, millions of people worked desperately to send a message backward through the sun, just to save a world they would never see. And if stories like this make you curious about the mysteries of our universe and the possibilities hidden in time, make sure you follow and subscribe so you don't miss the next story.